We really focus on evidence-based exercise, and we really try to do the minimum effective dose as safe as possible. Believe it or not, the minimum effective dose of strength training, which translates to core stability, stamina, the ability to move yourself through space easily, all of that is actually pretty doable in about 20 minutes once a week. Some people like to train more frequently, but that's really the minimum effective dose to both maintain what you have and build strength. And the kind of training that we do is what's called high intensity training, because we're really focusing on tension within the muscle, because that's where the changes happen. A lot of times you'll see people like moving very, very quickly when they're using weights, and there's actually not a lot of tension that the muscle is experiencing in that from a duration perspective. So we really focus on just trying to get every little bit out of that muscle that we can. And so today we'll give you an idea of how you could do it at home. It's really important to be safe. Never go too far. Don't do anything that you're uncomfortable with, because nobody's watching you. But it's hard training. It's uncomfortable. And I'm going to be subjected to that today by Amanda.
Well, thank you all for coming and for trusting us. Abe is going to be the demonstration man for this. So like we said, it's going to be about 20 minutes or less to go through the movements. The only ask that we have is if you do have a small dish towel or hand towel available, we can use that during our movements today. Otherwise, we're going to get started. Abe, so
Amanda, can I just ask you a question first? Do you want to look at people? Do you want people, if they agree to it, it's their choice, obviously, but to have their video going so you can see people?
Absolutely. And if you're going to go ahead and watch along, please, or work out along, please feel free to do so. I will be looking at everybody's videos in the view. And if I have any feedback, I may shout out your name. So thanks to everybody for making sure that I have your names up there. Otherwise, just take your time, be slow, watch Abe. He's going to be demonstrating the most appropriate form and taking cues from me, and then we'll move from there. All right. So Abe, we're going to start with a squat. So if you would please go ahead and stand in the position. So a squat position, everybody, is going to be where your heels are just under your hips. Your toes can be slightly pointed out at like 10 and 2. Thanks, Abe. That looks fantastic. And what we're looking for here is a very slow descent until you get to the bottom of the squat, during which time we're going to pause for a moment and then stand back up. So I'm going to have Abe go ahead and good, and hold that there, slowly returning to the top position. Great. Those of you that have your arms out in front of you, that's awesome for balance, and going right back down into the squat, focusing on the weight being distributed evenly on both your right and left foot. I want you to make sure that you are sinking down in there and pausing, slowly rising up. Janice, you can slow it down ever so slightly. That's great. And again, Abe's gonna continue to move slowly through here. The burn is possibly starting for some of you, and that's completely normal. Breathe through it and live through it. Some of the things that we notice when we are working out in slow movement is that you start to get the shakes as your muscle fibers are moving through orderly recruitment. Great. Pausing at the bottom, slowly pushing through the heels, coming up. Marion, you and your partner, please make sure that your shoulders stay down out of your ears. We don't want any neck tension. Good. Holly, you're doing great there. And pressing through those heels, Abe, slowly coming up. Good. We're just approaching the 1 minute mark. We do time under load here at EverStrong focusing on the amount of time that you're working in a movement before you get to fatigue. Good, slowly lowering down. I'm gonna have Abe pause at the bottom for a little extra second here. And you may raise up. Making faces at your trainer is completely normal. We've heard some things in EverStrong SF. Keep going, Abe. Good, we're getting close to the end. If you're feeling the burn, don't push too far past that, but live in it. Great work, Janice. Try to keep your chest up a little bit higher. I want you to think about sitting back and down onto that chair. Come on, Abe, you got it. Keep breathing. I see those shakes. Good. Nice and slow coming up. Push through those heels. Good. Slowly lowering down. Breathe in it. Don't forget to breathe. Nice and calm breathing. Hold it there and all the way back up. Abe, you think you got another one in you?
Sure.
Go for a full 2 minutes. Good. Hold that there nice and briefly and all the way back up to start. Fantastic. Who's got the burn going on? Shake out those legs. All right. So we're going to do something called a seated static row. So if you would, go ahead and grab your tea towel or hand towel. We're going to take a seat on the floor, not on the towel though. The towel is going to be a tool for us. And again, paying attention to what Abe is doing, you can roll up that towel. And if you would love to adjust the camera down for me, that would be great. Awesome. I can see Abe's full setup here, which is fantastic. So if you see how he's sitting with his feet directly out straight in front of him. The towel is looped around his feet and he's holding on to the ends. Big focus here is to make sure that your core is tight and that your abdominal muscles are in. So think belly button to spine, sit up nice and tall because the posture police are here. And what we're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and loop the towel around. We're gonna do 6 rounds of a 10-second static hold. That's gonna give us a minute of time under load, but I want you to think about squeezing your shoulder blades together to really pull that towel towards you. Think about driving your elbows towards your sides. All right, Abe, so if you wanna go ahead and start, I'm gonna time it and pull 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slight release. And again, right back into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slight release off, and we're going to go right into the third one. And 10, 9, 8, 7. Draw those shoulders back, Janice. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slight relax. Gonna do it again. Draw those shoulder blades back, Abe. Think about a pencil between them. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. We just have 2 more. And again, breathe in, pull belly button to spine. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slight relax. Last one. Chin stays up and 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Beautifully done. All right. So now that we've worked your back, we're gonna switch things up and we're gonna still work the upper body. We're gonna look at working your chest muscles by doing a push-up. Now we're gonna show you a modification to the push-up to make sure that everybody's able to work the chest muscles. Abe's gonna demonstrate that first. So for those of you who are familiar with a push-up, normally it's done on hands and feet. This time we're gonna do hands and knees. So kneeling into the carpet, ankles are crossed up behind you. Yes, please make sure your head does not hit any inanimate objects or each other. And this slowly lowering down into the push-up position, please, Abe. Thank you. That's a great demonstration, holding there at the bottom and then slowly pushing back up, using the heels of your hands to drive through with the chest. So that is a push-up modified on the knees. Go ahead and continue that, Abe, one more time, and then we'll go up to your toes. And then you can do the full push-up version where you're on your feet in full plank position. Make sure that your head, neck, and spine are aligned, elbows under shoulders, wrists under elbows, and slowly lowering down. Good. Bringing your chest down to the floor. Hold it there for 2 and up. Good. Nicely done, Holly. I see that push up. Good. Keep that going, Abe. Good job, Janice. Don't forget to breathe here. Breathing's super important. Keeping your belly button tucked in so that your abdominal muscles are helping to keep your body steady. And pressing up slowly. All right, Marion T, you and your partner there are looking good. Nice and slow lowering down. We're working the pectoralis major, minor. We're doing the triceps here. Your forearms are getting a workout. Your quads are too. It's a great combo exercise. Good, nice and slow, Abe, looking good. Hair still looks good too. Nicely done, Stephanie. I see you popping up there. Good. Coming up on 1.5 minutes. It's okay. Puppies are allowed to visit the camera. Good. Keep moving. Nice and slow. Think about the contraction that's occurring in your chest muscles and in your arms. We're really feeling that burn now. Good. Nice and slow. Breathe through it, Abe. You've got this. Press through. I gotcha. Yes. Give me 2 more. I know. Go fight, win. Breathe through. Janice going for a full push-up. I like it. Come on, Abe. Last one right here. Breathe. This is where the magic happens. Positive failure. Nah. Still got him. All right. Nicely done. All right. No slowing down here. As they say, no rest for the wicked. We are going to do scapular retraction. So you'll be standing up. Grab that towel again. So the muscles that we're going to be working here are the ones that we would be really important for doing a pull-up. It's also the major muscles of your back, your latissimus dorsi and your rhomboids, your trapezius. We're going to try to turn off from here. So I want you to start by grabbing your tea towel or your yoga strap about shoulder width apart here. So there's only about a fist width between them. And I want you to raise it up over your head. Abe, if you would turn all the way around so I can see your back, I want your scapular retraction to occur. So your shoulder blades or your scapula are going to be what we're retracting here. So Abe, go ahead and raise your arms over your head. See how your shoulders kind of go into your ears? If you pull those down, that's called scapular retraction. We're going to keep holding that there for another 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slight release. Make sure your chin is staying up, pulling down again. 2, 3, good hold. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slight relax. And again, pull down. 2, 3, 4. I don't want those shoulders in anybody's ears. Good. 7, 8, 9, 10. Slight relax. Let's do that again. Really draw down. Try to get your ribs to your belly button. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Marion, make sure with the yellow strap that you're a little bit closer with your hands and pull down again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more time, slight relax. Really think about drawing those down and back. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep your belly button to spine. 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. All right. What's the matter, Stephanie? You look wiped. You doing good? Give me a thumbs up. All right, so next thing that we are going to do, Abe, is we're gonna do a low back static hold. Now, for everybody watching, I wanna make sure that you take into consideration any low back issues or injuries. What we're going to be doing here will look similar to just a half forward fold, and we're gonna be working the lower lumbar and glutes. So Abe, if you turn around and point to your lower lumbar for me, please. We're gonna be working those muscles, which are super important for the strength of your torso, but also for your spine. So we're gonna do this as a static hold deadlift. So you're going to stand in the middle of your towel. You're gonna have the hands at the end of those towels or the yoga straps if you have them. And even if you can turn to the side, that's great. So as you can see, what Abe will be doing is he has a soft bend in the knee, so your knees are not straight. Your back is not overly arched. It's nice and straight. So we're not gonna look rounded. We're gonna be straight. Perfect, Abe. Then you're gonna grab into keeping your belly button to spine, holding on to the ends of your towel. You're gonna want to drive through your heels and try to stand up. This is engaging those muscles in your lower back. We're gonna go for another 4, 3, 2, 1, slowly release it. And we're gonna go again. Holly, go ahead and grab lower and pull up. There you go, that right where you were. 3, 4, good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slight relax and pull again. Try to get deep into those heels. Focus on squeezing your glutes and your low back. 4, 5, 6, good. 7, 8, 9, 10. Great form there, Stephanie. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't forget to breathe. 9, 10. Slight relax. We're gonna go for 2 more of these. Pull hard and deep. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Holly's having a party at her house. Last one. All right, Janice, go for it. And 1, 2. Try to stand up. Keep your head up, Janice. 4, good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly relax, standing up nice and slow as you push through those heels. You should have felt like nice warmth in that lower to mid back through your glutes. Abe, I think you're still unmuted, so if you've got any thoughts, how we feeling here?
Yeah. So we did some really simple movements that don't require much equipment, and you'll notice, like, throughout the whole thing, we were working on tension in the muscles, and that's actually really what's important, because just to point some things out, we were moving very slowly. When you move slow, you can do a lot of things. You can prevent injury, which is huge. You can also have a much more effective tension throughout the muscle. Through the range of movement that you're working, you'll get all the fibers in the muscle. It is uncomfortable. If you were doing a movement for 2 minutes with us, it's not comfortable. That's one of the reasons why it's called high intensity strength training, but it's super simple. super simple. You also notice that we did do the lower back exercise, and you know, with strength training, bodies change, and they can change visually. But what's more important is that you have the muscle so that you can move through your life, whether you're acting, singing, you're working on a stage hand, or whatever it is. That you have the ability to move yourself, and the stronger you are, the easier you can move yourself. So we will focus on movements like the low back specifically, because that's an area that people really protect, and they don't really train it much at all. They're afraid to. And actually, our facility's closed, but we have a very specific medical grade machine that we use to train people with the low back. What we're doing today is just a simple movement that you can do to engage it and innervate that muscle. And a lot of times people tell us it's their favorite exercise, believe it or not.
All right. Well, thank you guys all for coming. As you can see, we made it through in 20 minutes. Oh, Stephanie, you have a question? Let me see. Hold on. You're muted. Let's see if we can unmute you.
I'm unmuted.
There we go.
I'm a little confused with the scapular one. I didn't understand. Could you show us again what you were doing with your arms, maybe sideways instead of just the back?
It's like you're, as they're over your head and you begin to pull them down, it's like you're pulling them apart. So I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm actually, as I pull them this way and this way.
Oh, so you're staying straight up and pulling apart? Is that it? Not going up or down?
Yeah, you'll notice if I pull apart, my shoulders are going to drop.
And that's what you're trying to do.
That's
so
right.
You're just pulling apart, not going forward, not going down. Pulling apart.
You want to go down and back from behind, where your biceps are by your ears.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. It's almost like, well, you know when you go to fix your posture, if somebody says, oh, stand up straight, the first thing you do is you roll your shoulders down and back, like, oh, okay, I need to, there you go, Stephanie. So that movement that you're feeling is your scapulae retracting. There you are. And then what you want to do, yes, move them like that, like angel wings is what I like to think of when they reset themselves.
So you do that whole one angel wing in the one count, and then you do it again the next count.
And you want to continue to hold them down the entire time so that your rhomboids and your lats are engaged. Those are the major muscles of your back that do a lot of the lifting.
Thank you. That was great. Do you want to take any other questions that people have, or are you open to that?
Sure.
Or what?
Always open.
Yeah. So if anyone has any questions, let's see. Wave your hand if you have a question.
Holly.
Thank you. Sorry. Will you be doing this every Wednesday now, going forward? Or was this just a one-time thing?
We were doing it as an experiment. We were going to see how it go and what people, if people liked it. So.
Does that mean you liked it, Holly?
I did very much. I wish it was longer. Thank you. So
okay.
You have my vote to keep going.
Thank you. Marion?
Yes, I wanted to find out whether we can do the same thing with biceps with a strap like this and up, and the same thing work for every muscle?
Pretty much, yes. As long as you're really close to making sure that you're doing the mind to muscle connection and contracting what you mean to, absolutely. The static hold for the bicep curl, like you were just showing, is great. And I would recommend doing it in different angles of your elbow. So that's at a 90 degree. If you shorten the straps a little bit and you do it at 180 degrees or 145 degrees, and then even closer at 195, maybe, yeah, just like that, Abe, that's perfect. So doing those kinds of things, even static contraction without a band, is very efficient in engaging the musculature. You can sit there and hold a bicep curl and it really exhausts your muscles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really enjoyed it.
Oh,
Diana.
Diana. Go ahead, Diana.
Oh, I'd like it again. It takes a little bit to figure out what you're doing and copy it. And
Yeah.
it looked like a great thing. I had some injuries to protect my shoulder, my ankle, my lower back. So I have to be careful. And
Yeah.
We would always be welcome, we would welcome you to come and give us an intake session. We can talk about your injuries and your specific needs, especially with working a program that can help you to strengthen around those areas as to not aggravate them further, while also making sure that you live your strongest, longest life.
good. So what's the name of your center?
EverStrong SF. We're in Lower Haight on Fillmore and Haight Street.
Oh, I'm in Sebastopol.
Well, we do offer online remote training, so I have a
Okay.
couple of clients up in Sebastopol, actually.
Yep, EverStrong. Okay.
Yep, EverStrong SF.
And you can go back to our website if you want more information. You can, if you forget the name, it's on our website. And I think we have, if we don't, we'll put information. I think we have it, but if we don't, we'll put it up there. But say you were to come back again next week, what kind of things would you do in a second training? Would you just go over the first things again, or what kind of things would you be looking into?
Well, the way that we do it at EverStrong in general is we will focus on the big 5 plus low back. I could add in additional exercises, particularly for shoulders or splitting up the lower body into a unilateral approach where we're doing lunges. It really depends on each individual person. The best way to do an entire group without knowing each one of you one-to-one like we do our other clients is to do the approach that we did today. So if a more personalized approach is what you're looking for, then we can work that in as well. But it would be similar to what we did today, and perhaps maybe using wine bottles as lateral weights for shoulder raises is always an option.
That sounds great. And if anybody wants to put in the chat what they felt about this to encourage EverStrong SF to come back, please put a quote in it. And Abe, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say, one common belief when it comes to training is that you need a lot of variety. And actually, when it comes to strength training, if you vary too much, the muscle doesn't get enough of the stimulus to change it over time. So one of the things that we're also not doing in here is we measure everything. When we're training people, we measure everything: how it went, how long it took, the weight, everything. We annotate the order of everything. And what I mean to say is we use data to know whether or not a variety, an approach with variety is necessary. If you're really training just one time a week with strength training, it's really good to keep the exercises the same so your body can adapt to those movements. But if you're training more frequently, variety would be important because you need rest. And this training can be pretty intense. You probably won't be, some of you may be sore. I didn't see how far everyone was going, but on a level of soreness where 10 is like unbearable and 1 is, 0 is nothing, you'd probably be in the 2 to 3 category. And it would take probably your body, depending upon, everybody's a little bit different, but 3 to 4, maybe 5 days to be recovered from the training. It might sound like that is, very different than what you'd heard before, but strength training is different than aerobic training. And so more recovery time is often needed, and that's when you would bring in variety. So I'll stop talking about it, but.
Well, I just want to, having done this, and I think that he wants to ask again, having done this, I want to say it's incredible. They tested everything. They put me in here. They gave me this. They were so wonderful. And I can attest to how much it helped me. And I never got hurt. And I got a little sore, and I got a great workout. So I want to thank you for that. But I just want to say, I can attest to it. I did it. I'm telling you, I'm a total wimp. Okay, Mary.
Yeah, if you have different color resistance bands, could you apply this theory using the more stronger resistant bands and just do them very slowly? Is that similar, or does it have to be static?
Well, as you get stronger, you'll need more resistance, and that's what happens. You know, in our facility, we're usually making the weight heavier if everything is okay and there's not any kind of pain or anything like that. So if you're able to progress through 2 minutes in a movement with one of those lighter bands, then it would be time to move on to a heavier band and see if you can get yourself to 2 minutes without really breaking any form and really focusing on the, as Amanda said, where your mind is really connected to the muscle that you're working. And if you can get that muscle all the way to 2 minutes, then it's time for a little more resistance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you give Zoom lessons from your center?
We're doing it from our homes.
Yeah.
But I mean, is it part of your center? We could sign up on your center for Zoom classes.
Oh, yes.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
and there's maybe more detailed instruction, or maybe on your website, some articles or descriptions.
Yeah, we have all of that. Yeah, EverStrongSF.com.
Okay.
EverStrong SF.com. Cool.
All right. I put my email in the chat. If anybody has anything specific, you can always reach out to me directly. And I'm more than happy to take care of you all.
How is this different from isomorphic?
Isometric.
Isometric, yeah.
We did some isometric holds today, so it's very similar, but we're focusing on the slow movement through the range of motion to orderly recruit the muscle fibers. And we can go into a lot of detail on that. So perhaps we'll do another session on just the science behind our training.
No, we need another training. You can do that.
Did you invent this? Did you invent this, or is this something?
No,
Oh.
it's there's actually a book out there called Body by Science, that's how I discovered it.
I see.
By reading that book, and then we created a whole facility around it, and we have amazing stories from just like the steady, safe application of a stimulus over time, and bodies change. You know, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a continual habit. So
That's called Body by Science.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. That's Bridget.
Cool. All right. Well, I really like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
More than welcome,
You're
guys.
welcome.
Hope to see you soon.